If you draw with colored pencils, want to make realistic drawings and are not getting the result you'd like, maybe you're doing something wrong. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the main mistakes when coloring with pencils and how to correct them. For this, I'm going to use this gradient as an example. I'll tell you why some people get this when they could easily get this. So let's get right into it. Guys, the first mistake I spot when someone has difficulties with colored pencils is excessive force on the hand. Just look at what's being done here. I'm making relatively strong strokes and the pencil mark is very visible on the paper. If you're making this kind of mistake, try to reduce the force you apply to the pencil, especially when you're starting to color a drawing. There is a moment when we increase the pressure on the pencil, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The second mistake is a consequence of the first, which is not working with layers with colored pencils. To work with layers, it's important to know how to mix the colors little by little on the paper, and for this it's important to know how to vary the pressure of your stroke. Another mistake is not changing the direction of the strokes with the colored pencil. Note that here I'm only coloring with vertical strokes, which prevents me from being able to cover the paper more evenly, leaving many blank areas visible. The fourth mistake is not sharpening your pencil frequently. I'm not saying that you have to sharpen your pencil all the time, guys, but it's important that you keep your pencil well sharpened so that you can fill in all the nooks and crannies of the paper. So, to reach all the areas of the paper, you need to vary the direction of your strokes and sharpen your pencil regularly. Finally, the fifth mistake I'd like to point out here is that of not having patience, of doing everything in a hurry. The saying goes that haste makes waste, so take the time you need to get a well-made finish with colored pencils. Okay, it's easy to talk about the main mistakes when using colored pencils, but what's the right way to color then? Now I'm going to show you how to use colored pencils the right way so that you get a high quality result. So guys, the first step is to learn how to use colored pencils lightly. Work on your ability to start slowly, using the pencil initially to just mark where each color goes before worrying about the final result. Here I'm just marking out where I'm going to apply each of the three colors used in the gradient, delimiting the area for each one. The first layer will hardly be visible in the drawing when it's finished. By the way, speaking of layers, this is the second element that in my opinion cannot be ignored when using colored pencils. I always work by overlapping layers as it allows me to control the correct amount of each color applied and make adjustments as I go along. The third factor I pointed out is that you have to vary the direction of the stroke with the colored pencil, and I like to do this by layering in different directions. In this case, as the gradient is a more regular, a more logical exercise, it's easy to see how we can work on it, making some layers horizontally and others diagonally from time to time. This way I can fill in the gaps left by the pencil much more efficiently. Add to it the fact that I'm making the strokes in circular motions, which helps the process even more. Another factor that helps to fill in these white marks in the texture of the paper better is to sharpen the pencil when the tip is worn. The sharper the tip, the more the pencil can reach the grooves of the paper, allowing for a more even coverage. Guys, there is no way around it. If you really want to make a well-done painting with colored pencils, you need to take your time because it takes a little longer. By way of comparison, I did that first gradient in less than 4 minutes, which largely explains the rough result. This second gradient, on the other hand, took almost 50 minutes to complete. So enjoy the drawing process, perhaps listen to some music or podcasts, for example. I definitely think it's worth dedicating more time to doing something with care and quality. And here, guys, we can see the difference a well done job can make. If you're looking for more exercise for beginners, consider signing up for my class Colored Pencil for Beginners, Layering and Blending. In this class, I provide a series of exercises in which you can practice blending and layering techniques in more depth, as the name of the class suggests. Now, about the colored pencil technique, guys, if you think you don't have the patience to do a longer drawing, consider doing an exercise like this gradient at least once. Just once, and let me know what you think. As I suggest, put on some music you like, or prepare your environment in such a way as to make drawing more enjoyable, and let me know how it went. Tell me about the experience here in the comments, I'll be waiting for you. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.